All right. So today is the 4th of June, and today we'll start our first session, 106A. And this is um, the today's topic is the spiritual surrender, and I'll explain from why and how. This topic requested by Monica. Monica, are you there? Monica?
Yes, Api.
Yeah. So it is your topic, right? Surrender, how to surrender. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll go. This is a good thing. So whatever you are looking for, you can request for a session. Then we can arrange for a session for that one and discuss in detail. And some of the topics maybe we have discussed earlier, but things now energy level is changing. So their approach, our things is also, we have to connect to the higher level of purpose and maybe a little upgraded way or modified way. So we will talk about it. So we'll start with the surrender. So first is about the word surrender. Many people consider it as a humiliating, So surrender something, whatever there is some agitation going on, some underworld gangsters surrendered themselves, or in a war, they have some army has defeated, they surrendered themselves. So we keep on hearing about the surrender. So whenever we listen to the word surrender, and there is some first thing is some negative, come to that somebody have broken the jail, run away, and then they surrendered and to the police and all this kind of stuff. So the word surrender is correct, but the context is a completely opposite here. So the one-way surrender, whatever you in the normal practical field also, the surrender comes when somebody is overpowered. It is enforced by somebody because they will be punished or caught, maybe killed in an encounter, they surrender. So that is one approach where is a practical field. So the main factor behind the surrendering in the practical world, that is, or the welcome, because surrendering is that fear of something, fear of getting caught, getting punished, getting killed, or facing consequences, though they surrender. Okay, so that they need not to come with for facing further things. But in the spiritual, on the spiritual journey, when the surrender happens, it is coming from this opposite. In the spirituality, opposite of the fear is love, or absence of love is fear. When the love is absent or reduced, then fear comes. That is the spiritual understanding. So ultimately, we have to. It is all about that going into our original surrender to our original self, or of pure love. So that I will come at the end. I'm just giving you some little bit of highlight, the context. So it is, and this particular surrender is completely coming out of our free will. It is not enforced. It is other way around. Nobody is asking you to surrender. Nobody is demanding surrender. Nobody will punish you if you don't surrender. That's what I'm saying. It is a completely opposite thing of what we normally know with associated with this word as a surrender. Okay, with the basic understanding, we'll start. The surrendering means all of us, we have some kind of our soul's plan. or our divine plan which runs our life. So, and there are actually three, but we call it a timeline. Timeline means something is being run around our life. We face that. Whatever our experiences come into that one. So when we took birth, we took some plan, soul's plan. That is called one timeline. So there is something that this will happen at the age of this, this will happen at the age of this, will get married, or this will have children, and they will face this and this, so and so forth. This is all your soul's plan. Start from the birth, where we'll take birth, who will be our parents, and so on. Parallelly, what happens is, as we have a free will, we bind our karma, or we keep on getting our karma because of the non-connection with our consciousness. Because by design, we have to choose this, choose what is best for us and what is the inner calling. We have to choose that. It will not be automatic. If we don't choose that, we will operate through our lower self. We have a session, last session was that. If you operate from lower self, there is always the risk, mostly certain, that you will follow your karmic path. Karmic path, there is no path. You are doing it. Past lives karmas are already built in your soul's plan. So those are settled as per that. But there is something called Kriyaman karma. Kriyaman karma is what you are doing now, that it will give you effect in future or immediately. Like if you put hand in a fire, hand will get burned. So here action reaction is immediate. There is no time gap. Okay. Something can have a longer effect. That's why the confusion comes. But something we did, I thought nobody will know, but that particularly, suppose I involved into some kind of corrupt activities. That may be exposed after 10 years. Then maybe I'll be investigated and punished after 15 years. These 10 years, I was thinking I'm getting away with it. There is no such thing called getting away. It will come. So what is happening here? Because I have willfully done something, I follow another path which is not really our soul's plan. So that is one timeline. I'm generating another timeline for me. So this timeline, based on what activity we do, that has got a consequence. Whatever we are doing now will have a consequence. Whether there is a plan or not doesn't matter. That's what I say. I put a hand in the fire, it will burn my fingers, even though it is not in the soul's plan to get my fingers burned, but I have chosen to put my hands in. So in this kind of situation, our life experiences changes because of whatever it is. So in that case, what happens is soul's plan, souls have a choice. Soul doesn't have only this life. It will shift to another life. Suppose you have suppose you established in your soul's plan, there is something came that you will be constructing a great monument on planet Earth. I'm just giving some example. But in the earlier days, you chosen not to go into any kind of design or construction or engineering on that kind of activity. You have chosen some other part. Suppose you have chosen, so you will be a painter. So that will not be affected. It will shift it to the next birth, soul's plan. Because you chosen something to do, so you have to follow another line which is not on the original plan. But this path, the lower path, what I'm saying about lower means that what is that karmic path is full of obstacles, full of potholes. It is like walking something blindfolded, on the road blindfolded. Obviously, you get a chance to fall into, hit some rock there, obstacle, or falling into some ditch, or hitting to a lamppost, or, coming in front of a car. And many things are possible, because you are blindfolded. You don't know where you are going. Soul's path is, where you are going, because it's all planned. And because of our own karma thing, it is coming and it is changing that, and we are going into something. So we go into the mode of trial and error. We try to go find out which is the safest way, then take one step. Because we know that we are blindfolded. That's why our progress get delayed, because we cannot see. In spiritual terms, that seeing forward is called awareness. Means we are not aware what is in front of us, where we are going, what is our destination, or at least destination you may not see. Suppose somebody is driving 100 kilometers, they cannot see the destination for sure, but at least they know the direction and the board and the path, which path to go. But if we are blindfolded, even we cannot see the signboard. You cannot see whether it is going in the east or north, we don't know. So that is the state normally we do. So we fall into this. And because so many obstacles come, we become, there are many things happens here. We expect too much. And then definitely it will not happen as per our expectation. The expectation, we get frustrated. Or we give too much importance of the result. We think I'm walking, I should reach my destination within 1 hour, because you're blindfolded. How you can reach your destination by blindfolded? Or that maybe you become fearful. You don't want to move at all. So which direction I will go, I don't know. I may be hit by something. You're fearful. You're not moving. You're thinking that you will go, but you actually never moved. So these aspects, hampering our progress. Why this is counterproductive? Because we put control on ourselves. We put control on our lower self. This particular control has to be surrendered. Otherwise, we cannot have that. We cannot go into the timeline of our soul. What is meant for us. But you have to do it with a free will. You have to choose that path. It will not automatically happen. So, in this sense, that you need to surrender your free will to the divine will, or your higher self. I'm not saying about somebody up there. It's only rather than your lower self is operating, let the higher self operate your life. Okay, so in that sense, you have to surrender to your higher self, so that your soul's plan come into play. So what you need to do, that we need to change our mindset. We are taught, we are programmed to, it is called, you need to make something, make it happen. We learn many places. You have to make it happen. Who else will do it for you? And that's true. I'm not saying that is not true. But the strategy that everything you have to make it happen as per your will, that become counterproductive here. When you surrender, allow the things happen through you, not by you. Okay, I repeat here. It is very important aspects of the key of this method of surrender. So you need not to make it happen. Only thing, you have to allow it to happen through you. It is already planned. Your higher self has already planned many things which is in your best interest. Only by free will, knowingly or unknowingly, you should not block this. So in that case, strategy will be, you have to have the complete faith on your higher self. Your higher self is your inner guru. It is there with your hundreds of lifetimes. It knows best. Who else will know? Your mind, you got it this life. It has got a limited experience, limited opportunity, limited hour, and too much conditioning. too much input and things from the outside world, and which may not be in your best interest. Your so-called experience in that sense is limited, whereas your higher self runs with the wisdom, or it is the Brahmagyan, it is the truth. So your higher self can run better if you surrender. So now, what are the steps we can take to go into that one? First is the faith in yourself, your higher self. You cannot have any doubt. Maybe my higher self doesn't know. It can never happen. Okay. Higher self will not interfere into your day-to-day business because of free will contract. But without our that soul's permission or higher self permission, nothing happens. Not even a finger is moved without our, you know, without the knowledge, with the knowledge of our soul consciousness. But only when we are in, it is invited, it will come into our life, will play. So you need to first, understanding wise, you have to surrender to your higher self to run your life. And how to do that? To do that, first is you have to have a faith in yourself, your higher self. To do that, at least you have to accept that there is a higher self. Okay, most commonly people say, "Ki, I don't believe in that." And because you don't believe, it will not come into your life and help you out or play that your life what is needed. When we do that, then the strategy of the life will be the go with the flow. Means once your higher self has taken up, it will happen. Only thing, you have to accept it. You cannot reject it and criticize it. It may sometimes look uncomfortable, but what is happening, you have to have faith on our higher self because it is in your best interest. Your higher self cannot conspire against you. We have to drop those idea of how we can surrender. I don't know where I will go. You don't know, it is not necessarily for you to know. You don't know many things. Your higher self knows, so it will guide you there. You don't know your future. What will happen after 10 minutes? You don't know. Your higher self knows. Okay. So give that who know to drive your life. Don't be limited to your own understanding or own, limited lower self to to run your life. And that's what we are making this kind of situations in our life and getting frustrated and all this kind of thing. So first is the faith on yourself, your higher self. Second is called patience. What is needed here? This patience is little different. It is called. It is not in the Hindi. It is not pratiksha. It is titiksha. Means patience means waiting without expectation, because expectation ruins that thing again. Okay. If we meditate for 2 days, we thought the third day I will get enlightened. It is our expectation. And when it doesn't happen, we get frustrated. It will definitely happen, but your expectation that it will happen on the third day ruins your spiritual, whatever progress it is. So in this case, the patience, the titiksha is needed. Okay, you do your part. And that famous saying in Bhagavad Gita, Ma phaleshu kadachana. Why? Because more you are associated yourself with the result, means you think that result is your reward. It is not. It is an idea only. The truth is, the result, what you are considering, is just an idea. And you don't know whether it is in your best interest or not. I shared, many stories that somebody, get a fast car. They got it after a lot of thing, and finally, And while driving in the highway, he got an accident, and he sit down rest of his life on the bed. So getting that fast car, maybe that Ferrari may not be good for him. Ferrari is good, nothing wrong with that. Okay, high speed driving, yes, the car sports are there, but it may not be good for that person. If we leave it to this thing, to our higher self, that thing will never happen. Something or other will happen, will not be able to buy that car because it is not in our best interest. I have shared one of my stories. What happened? We went to Austria for 2017 for just for on holidays, and we lost our passports. All three of us. We could not enter this country, UAE, for 4 months. Okay, I came. I think third month. My family was fourth month. This is a big issue, and they are getting a new passport done. As it is a lost, then the police case has to come. They have to submit the report and blah blah. Many big formalities we are not aware. So in lost passport cases, the Tatkal service, etc., are not applicable. You have to go through all those things. Anyway, so I'm not going into that. That's not important. When I look at the thing I'm sharing, when I look back, I'm just connected to my higher self and see what was the and why this thing has happened. Yeah. So my daughter cannot go to school. I cannot enter. My house is there, car is there, job is there. I cannot enter in this country. Then I come to know I'm just sharing. Yeah? So take it as a story. I'm not asking approval of anyone. It's not needed. It is my story. I know, and that ends there. It's complete by itself. But only thing is I'm sharing. So this also happens. That's what I'm saying. In general, it took as a punishment. No? We cannot enter to our house 4 months. How? We are on the spiritual path. We are not supposed to, get this kind of stuff and all these kind of things we think. Then I come to know that particular time I had because of planetary position. By the way, whether you are enlightened or not doesn't matter. Planetary positions, etc., will affect you. Okay, the vibrations and things will affect you. Your birth chart will affect you. Means it is a planetary position. You cannot get out of it. The things may be minimized, but taken care of. Take that story as how I surrendered my life, how I am taken care of. That's what I'm explaining this story to you. Then when I connected to that higher self, then I found out that I had in that period of my life, there is a chance of a car accident. Car accident, and both my leg could have been amputated in that. Okay. That is a time period. 2-3 months period then. This is what, as I have surrendered my life, the divine has sent me outside the country so that I cannot drive. I don't drive anywhere. India also, it's a different drive. It's a left-hand drive. There is a right-hand drive. I don't drive in India. And in the foreign country, I go, better not to drive because the rules are different. Every country has a little different rules. So it's not a good idea. And you are going for a holiday. Why you need to drive? You go into other transport system, by taxi or whatever. So that period I could not drive. And it was specifically as a car accident and chance of that. So the divine has put me out so that I can get past that time. And when it is then suddenly something called fall in place and things happen, we come, quickly. We waited for months, but when it happened 2 weeks. We got that my office somehow, they have taken permission, get me cancel my old contract, invited me as a new fresh recruit and things like that. They did good job there. Anyway, so these type of things is possible. So if I put myself expectation, I put it that I will feel that I'm getting punished. That may not be true. And that is not in my best interest. Only if I surrender and accept what it comes. Ma phale shu kadachana, not the result. in that situation, I could have said, if I cannot go back within a month, that means I'm not getting any divine support. That's my idea of giving a time scale of 1 month. Definitely could not have happened that time. But after 1 month, I get frustrated. Next month, I'll be thinking what to do, and all this kind of thing. And repeated in my mind, I could have suffered a lot. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that the patience, the titiksha, trust that it is in your best interest and wait without expectation. That is a spiritual quality. Titiksha. Okay. That is patience and all, but in the enlightenment phase, it is called infinite patience. Like there is no time limit. Okay. Anyway, so don't get scared with that one. It will come automatically. You accept everything, so no need to wait for anything. That's what it means. You have an unlimited patience. That means, oh my God, I have to wait for the decades for waiting for somebody. No, the feeling of waiting will go. You accept the phase. Then no need to wait. No, you accepted it is. At present, I'm here. I'm fine. You accept that state, and the waiting goes automatically. That is the infinite patience. Anyway, next is on that is awareness. Awareness of the our awareness of our higher self. Yeah. The ultimate is expanded awareness, but I'm not going to that. Before we start with, at least you have to go beyond our physical reality. If you're aware that there is a higher dimension, my soul consciousness, I'll be taking care of that, then that awareness will give you tool to surrender. We practice this with gap awareness, a gap between two thoughts or gap between two breathing, Sandhikal Jagruta. We just connect to the heart. That is the way we surrender. So the gaps are the spiritually, that is the doorway between the lower self and the higher self. So we need to surrender to the higher self or higher dimension. We have to open the door and enter and surrender there. What will surrender? Our free will. Thy will be done, not mine. Jesus Christ. This is a symbol of surrender. Okay. Because we know that if we say, okay, my will be done, then I will be most likely I'll be operating from my lower self and spoil it further. But if thy will be done, here he has mentioned, of course, about God. So if the God is taken care of that, so then your lower self will doesn't matter. And next is this awareness, of course, this how to another way of surrendering is that minimize your mental activities. Yeah. So that three things which is against you, which doesn't allow you to move further. And I explained, I think, 2 weeks before what our mind does. It brings some logic to convince you why this is not good for you. It will tell you, यार कितना दिन वेट करेगा, हो गया ना. 1 साल और कितना वेट करेगा. Forget about. See, the moment you fall into that, then the logic will convince you this is not. It's not benefiting me. Yeah? फायदे का बात नहीं है. If ये जो है ना, loss and profit and loss, when it convinces you like that, then you will not be able to surrender. So meditation will help you to get out of all kinds of mind constructs. Like first you get unnecessarily convincing by ego, then otherwise clearing any doubt. Otherwise, what will we create some doubt? I explain how it works. Or it will install some fear in you. Either logically it will convince you, or it will create a doubt in you, or it will inject a fear in you. In these three ways, our mind control ourselves and put us down below our ego. So get out of that shackle, we need to meditate and go beyond. Jadu Krishnamurti says it is the territory you have to explore the unknown. Whichever is known, it is controlled by your ego. But which is unknown, it is cannot be controlled by your ego. And go to that level of unknown, meditation is the key. Because you need to find the gap to go there. This unknown, because we have a faculty, meditation is the way to go to the unknown territory. This unknown, why it is important? Because power comes from there. Our that so-called soul's plan, our what is our best interest, all are there, which is still unknown by the lower self. So willingly have to drop that, the known world, and venture into the unknown world. If something you know, that will not work for you. As you can say, this unknown, what you venture upon, your experiences will be completely unique. It cannot be compared with anyone else. That's why I call it, it is your truth. Your truth may not necessarily be somebody else's experience. Actually, it should not be. You will be having your unique experience. That's why I call it is your truth. You have to follow your truth. We are all the creators. So in other, if I give some example, like your painting should not be copy of somebody's painting. No? You can express yourself in your painting. Whatever you draw, it should be unique. And there will be no copy of that. There is no need. So your expression is completely unique. And that uniqueness need to be respected. And the path to go to that level is your own uniqueness, your own unknown territory. Okay. That is your field of venturing it out. And in that, your inner world, even you can create a universe there. All of us individually has a capability to create an universe. Okay. So you have to explore your universe. That's why it is called multiverse. But anyway, I will not go into that logically understanding it. How logically possible? Doesn't matter. It is beyond logic. We are the creator of your own universe. And there is no limit. It is infinite. So the starting point of going into that creation, your own creation, is through meditation. And the last part is the final state of that. So first I'm saying the stages of surrendering, what the questions, what Monica has asked, then we started this, and this is our today's topic. You start with a faith on your higher self. If you don't faith, if you don't believe in a higher self, nothing will happen. Nothing, you will not go anywhere. So first, to understand that which runs our life is soul consciousness. I am not running it. I don't decide how much pressure my heart will pump, how many liters blood I will have, how to purify the blood, how I can digest my food. I know nothing. I don't do anything. Okay. Only the effect I do. What I do, I eat. And some of the masters, they call we are shit machine. Like we eat and shit. That's what we do. Okay. Rest of the things is run by the higher consciousness. Everything is governed, controlled. The run by the life force energy, which is the consciousness. Anyway, so we have to have faith first on our own higher self. We have to have a faith that higher power is running my life, not me. So it is the best driver possible. Your inner guru, inner self. Next is titiksha. You cannot bring hundreds of expectations and think something will happen tomorrow. May not be. So you need to practice this patience to get that result. Then the awareness, that awareness of this path and this process, and awareness of there are the higher dimensional element that the higher power can run this. I need to be aware of. Also, I have to be aware of what is happening around me without getting attached to it. You have to run in the detachment. And then through meditation, we have to explore the unknown. We have given the driver's seat to our higher self, then it will drive us there. We just need to go and experience that. That will be our truth. This will give you that understanding. When this it started with awareness, but during meditation, when you go that, then the understanding will come firsthand, which is your direct experience. Then that experience will guide you further. Not anything what you learn on this planet Earth. Your own. You learn how to move around, how to get information, how to energize in your own universe, which is that unknown. The what benefit you will get is when you do experience in doing that exploration, your fear will disappear. Most of our fears are means lower level. What we fears are fear of unknown. When we fear to enter into a dark room, that is a fear of unknown. I can stumble off anything, whatever, something can happen. If it is a dark outside, we fear. So when you explore that territory, that you will be so empowered with exploring the unknown territory daily that you will be comfortable with your own truth, which is not known previously. And in that process, that will go, your fear will go, which will cut the string so that you can fly very high into the unknown territory. That's how your understanding, that awareness and understanding will grow. By asking your questions into that territory, you will get the answer, direct, first hand. So that will also, so slowly, whatever doubts, this, that, all will go because you are getting your answers, all the things. Yeah? And there is no expectation. So there is no right and wrong answer. You will get the truth, whatever it is. And whatever in this meditation, Yogiraj Amarjyotiji's ashram, there is a, there are, you had Rashmi is there, no? So first, what is the food hall name? Name of the food hall is something, no? Rashmi, you remember? Where the dining hall?
Darpan, Guruji, Darpan.
Darpan. Okay. Yeah, Darpan. Darpan is a reflection. Then the next one, where the Havan used to take place daily. 2 times in a day, we go is to sit down in the Havan, and that is called Arpan.
Arpan.
Okay. Arpan, and finally, when Babaji's temple is there, this is called Samarpan. Samarpan is surrender. After do all the rituals, after you have eaten the food, you have to maintain your physical body, etc. Then you try to, Havan and all those things, purify yourself and things. That is a way to go. And finally, you sit down in front of Babaji. And that hall name is Samarpan, which is surrender. That part, the last part, is called Bhakti. last phase of any kind of thing, even post-enlightenment, last phase is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means it is a loving surrender. Okay. We started with a negative connotation of surrender. If I don't surrender, police will come and arrest me. That from here, we are now coming as a loving surrender. Means willfully, we surrender everything, whatever we have. And that we connect with the divine. That is Bhakti Yoga. It is high level of, loving connection. I don't know whether I should say it or not. In the lower level, between two lovers, there is no restriction. No? Both lovers are willing to shed off anything. Isn't it? There is no, gap or separation between two lovers because you're in love. Now reflect that to the higher level. There is nothing you need to hold. You surrender everything to the divine. It is a loving connection, loving surrender. That is the bhakti. Mirabai used to, झूमते हुए गाते हुए बेचते थे because surrender everything. Tension, डर कुछ भी नहीं है. J.P. Vaswani ji, he is a very famous master. In 2012, I met him in World Parliament of Spirituality, and he was giving a lecture, and he was always smiling. And also, somebody asked that all the time you are smiling. He was that time 95 years old or something. So how can you be smiling all the time in this? He said, I am all the time, I'm thinking I'm a child playing in the mother's arm. Mother is the divine mother's arm. I'm like a child. So I don't have any tension. I surrendered everything to my mother. Mother knows when I have to get feed, what I need, when I need to play, all those things. Mother is taking care of everything. I have nothing left. So I'm smiling all the time. I have nothing else to do. I'm just enjoying. This is the right kind of surrender, the phase which comes out of that. So that bhakti, that loving surrender, where you're willingly gives whatever small thing you have, means it is, in other words, Ganga Jal se Ganga Puja. You're using the water of the Ganges to worship the Ganges. Whatever you have all came from the divine only. Even question is, who are you to give, basically? But anyway, if we do that, then we come to the stage where the surrender completes itself. You become merged as a lover between. That is the highest level of, bhakti or association possible with the God or, divine. The relationship like lover. Okay, there is nothing in between. It's almost completely merged, not almost, completely merged with each other. So now the practical tip, what I do here, that you may follow, you may have your own method. Daily, when I get up, so I surrender my three things under my free will, which is thoughts, words, and actions. Whatever I'm going to think during the day, whatever I'm going to do during the day, and whatever I'm going to talk during the day. These three things are under my free will. I surrender at the feet of Mataji. I surrender ki Mataji, I surrender myself completely. All my free will, the thoughts, word, the action at your lotus feet. And whatever happens, it will be through you, not me. I don't exist. Okay, so then whatever it comes, without doubt, you have to accept. That part is also important. It's not that the next moment you are thinking, okay, वो सच में guide कर रहा है क्या? हाँ, नहीं तो I lost say maybe 100 rupees note, और यहाँ पे this is dirham, maybe 100 dirham. I'm thinking, is Mataji is guiding? Why I lost this 100 dirham? So okay, don't bring doubt. Okay, and let it be. आज पैसा किसी और का था, आज मेरा पास है, कि कल किसी और का पास. It's okay. So be in the flow. Lose some, get more, no issues. But don't get those losing something as per your idea is bad for you and things are not working for you. These are your conclusions, which may not be true. Everything physical you have will have an up and down. It cannot be possible always up. If you have a physical body, it will have disease sometimes. It is normal. Your disease is not a punishment. The idea that my disease is a punishment, that idea need to go. You take care of your body, of course. Try to maintain it. But because any reason you got fall sick, it doesn't mean that divine is punishing you. It is the nature of physical body. You know, there's the same question, 3 questions. Gautam Buddha left the palace and gone to meditate. Old age. It's not a punishment. It will happen, inevitable. Disease and death. These 3 things, no? He has got, stuck. These things also can happen. It will happen because if I have taken birth, you have to die. Let us accept it. Okay. That's why the acceptance comes. Accept what is. Don't fight with that. The surrender means liberation from these lower level ideas which are restricting us. You have to surrender those things, and you liberate yourself, which is no longer serving you. Okay, you live the life saying whatever you could have done. You know, if you say, no, I have achieved everything, then just it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. You may be managing well. That's fine. That's very good. But the question is, if that is the case, why you are still not happy? Okay. If you got everything, then why you are not happy? Then even the richest person in the world is also not happy. Why? That's what it is. We are incarnation of infinite being. Yeah? Amritasya putra. Amrit means, immortal. Yeah? Immortality. So Amritasya putra, we can never be satisfied with the limitedness. Okay. And all of us, we private limited. Okay. If we get some wealth, we get more, we get more. Maybe we'll get mad, we kill people to get more and more and more. But one time, death will come and take us away. Well, thank you. Now come up. Or come down. Okay. Or whatever the way it is. Okay. But anyway, that is inevitable. So we have a limited thing we cannot have. But what I'm saying is the dissatisfaction comes because we cannot touch that infiniteness which our inner curving with the external world. That's why I got frustrated. Even after having name, fame, money, everything, people still not satisfied. Okay. They feel void inside. So anyway, if we surrender everything, surrender what we have, then we become a part of the ocean. We are that ocean. Only the realization has not happened. That realization is not possible if you keep identifying yourself in these lower level things. The identification need to go. I'm not saying you donate everything and leave your house, leave your family. No. Okay. You experience all those things, but internally liberated, internally connected to that in the Amrit. that divinity within you, which is infinite, then you will feel the infinite joy all the time. And then rest of the life you spend with this complete surrender bhakti to the divine. So it is not, there is nothing to claim as mind, this, that, and all this thing. No conflict, all divine. Enjoying the life moment by moment. This now moment is a present moment now. So you will be getting presents, gifts every time, the divine gifts. So life will be a series of gifts without any judgment. As you know, jo ho raha hai, ho raha hai. I mean, if something is not directly your control, I told many times that we don't bother. It's not your responsibility. Everything have a purpose. Everything have a divine reason. Even some, a kanta chup jata hai, I feel pain. That pain is also has a reason. There's a purpose. Only we feel that it is negatively because the purpose is not fully understood. Our awareness has not grown to that level. We can understand that pleasure and pain, this duality, is just like an experience, nothing more. So we need not to focus more on negativity and ignore the positivity so that we fall into that trap of our life is full of negative experiences. That's most of us, we conclude. In lower mind, of course. But if you do opposite way, no matter what happens, you are always connected. You are always joyful. Then you are connected to the infinite source. Means basically, I'm not saying this will not happen. What I'm saying is these will not matter anymore. You got liberated. Body will do its own functions, and death will come one day. It's okay. And by the time that fear of death and everything is gone. So anyway, so this is so let us conclude this session. So for me, as I said I surrendered my life to Babaji at the time of the enlightenment. If you read my life's journey, the story, and that day I surrendered my life to Babaji. So now what happens is, no matter what comes in my life, I have to simply tell Babaji, just like J.P. Vaswani ji has told that I leave it to my mother, so I leave it to Babaji. I tell Babaji that this is also yours. Suppose time is not good, I'm just undergoing some kind of adversities in day-to-day life, and something like that happens. I said, this is also you're experiencing through me, it's not mine. Who am I to claim that this particular experience doesn't belong to me? If I do that, then I'm not fully surrendered. So in that, anything comes into that time, Babaji, it is all yours, because Rajdeep no longer exists. It is all yours. You are experiencing through me. I have to simply go through this phase and experience it, that's all. So there is no tension, there is no punishment, and there is no reward per se in that sense, because always I am rewarded. What to bother about these small things? So in that sense, that in that sense, you are fully liberated from this phase of the restrictions which the life brought, and through surrender. And this kind of surrender, once you live your life, then whatever the things are, divine will take care of it. Only thing, willfully have to surrender the driver's seat, and that's all it is. So life I have surrendered to Babaji, and day-to-day thing, which may get into trap of mind and karma, thoughts, words, and actions, I surrender to Mataji every day. That's it. Okay. Very simple. How to do it and how to go it. All right, we'll conclude this the learning session with this. So you have a question, so you please come forward and ask your questions. Yes, Monali?
Ricky, I just want to say, I have got two things to say. Like no morning I surrender if in Mataji thoughts, words and action. And if I forget sometimes I do that. Whenever it comes to my mind, I repeat this Mataji, I'm surrendering my thoughts, words and action. But because I don't know why for last 1 month I'm not keeping well or something. So when I get irritated or get angry, and then these doubts come in my mind that I have surrendered everything to Mataji, then why I'm getting irritated or
Yeah.
angry? So my surrender is not complete uh, because I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. See, whenever doubt comes, no, three things I told you. Either some logic, it will convince you, some doubts, or fear. Okay, that's how our mind, ego controls us. If you are getting the doubt, definitely ego has come back. Okay, your ego is telling that picture. Not, it is not about anything happening or not happening. It is your ego. It only shows your ego has come back. Best way is you have to raise your vibration so that they don't allow to come back again. Okay, so that is the only thing. It only shows maybe you have to do meditate more, or PVF need to go high to get out of these things. To get out of that logically convincing you, getting any doubts or fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you, time to time, you may fall down a little bit. It is normal. It's okay.
Yeah, I seem so because for last 1 month I'm not
Hmm.
keeping physically well. In fact, I cannot, I mean, I'm not keeping, having concentration while meditating or something. I'm just
Hmm.
praying. Frankly,
No
I'm just
problem.
praying to God that
Okay,
I'm as,
understood. I'm saying my advice is regularity is more important.
oh,
Then the quality. I'm going to that extent. Even if you get 10 minutes time, you just do
mm.
10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
I
not a
get
military
time,
rule.
but
It's not
I
a
get
military rule.
time, but I don't know because of physically being unwell or very, I'm getting irritated with small things, and then I'm having doubts. I'm surrendering Mataji, then why I'm getting angry or irritated with things happening? I'm not being detached. I'm not being detached. Like you said, na, you
Okay.
be
Okay.
aware.
Manali, you do what I do. I tell Babaji, it is also yours. This
Okay.
disease is not mine. It is yours. You are experiencing through me. I surrendered myself.
Yeah.
Who is claiming it is mine?
Hmm.
The entity who is claiming it is my problem, that entity has to go. If I
Yes.
surrender, then this body belongs to him. He is experiencing through me. It's okay.
Okay. And
I will
Guruji,
claim that problem is mine. Then it will come to me.
yes. Okay. And you just said in this now that you can create your own universe. That bit
Yes.
I could not understand.
Don't worry, because what I'm basically saying that it's like an open canvas. You can draw anything, right? There's an
Hmm.
infinite possibility. So you are getting one canvas does not mean that your creativity is limited to one canvas. Your creativity is infinite. That can reflect that infinite potential you have. Okay, so you can create anything. We are creating. Each of one of our lives, it is unique by itself, and it is unique in our own world, right? So we are creating our own world. Whatever your life experiences are, that is inside you. How you feel about life, that is your life experience. So all of us, everybody, they're having their own life, right? Their own universe, their own version of the universe in them. All our universe is different. It is our own truth. Okay, somebody's universe means the sun is there, planets are moving around, that is the universe. Somebody's universe is the galaxies are floating around. Somebody's universe is the whole time scale. Somebody's universe is going into the higher dimension. Doesn't matter. But we all have our own version of the universe, right? Which is inside us. It cannot be matched with anyone else. Okay. My advice is, don't think about it. It's okay. Just experience whatever it comes. That is your universe. And go to expanded awareness and experience whatever it comes. That is your universe.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. God bless you. Yes, Kavita?
Sir, Om Mangalam. Sir, how to know the unknown? I read somewhere you can control the unknown by knowing the
Stop.
known.
Wait. No need to repeat anything you read somewhere. No
Okay.
need. Okay. Drop that thing. How to know the unknown. So that's what I'm saying, that we have to go through the meditation, find the gap, either gap between two thoughts and the gap between your breathing, sandhikar. Then you enter into the territory to the other side. So this is a technique. We venture into unknown, and whatever experience come, that is our direct experience. Okay. So your answer to how to know the unknown, you have to, during meditation, you find the gap and you go beyond. Like I give an example of crossing a road. So how can I go to the other side of the road? You have to cross the road. Cars are passing. But you have to find the gap between two cars and cross the road. Then you will be on the other side. You can venture the other side of the city or other side of the road, the village, or whatever is there in the other side. So that is the technique. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
God bless
Sir,
you.
can we control the unknown?
No, we cannot. We don't need to also.
So then
Because
there is fear in mind because of this only, no? Because of the
that's why
unknown.
the fear has to go, not the unknown. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Guruji.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask
Yes,
that
Sima.
अभी आप मोनाली जी को बता रहे थे that you surrender everything, surrender your disease. Now, what about the anger that we may go through? कभी हम किसी को, since I am still in the evolving stage, so I do have these problems where I get angry with people, or maybe I criticize also. I'm still moving ahead. So in this case, does the surrender include even these things? Or I feel bad later on, I may regret it, but what about that?
Okay. See, this is something in between. It is not surrender. Okay, I'll tell you what to do in this case, because I have to give some solution to your issue. So
Yeah.
my advice is, don't compare it with the surrender. Surrender is completely different. Okay, it is like a full in love. There is no restriction, no limitation, and all. So that is much above this. Okay,
Right.
but forget about what others have done and all those kind of things. This is about the self-management, or self-awareness. To do that, first thing we have to go into the witness mode. Witness mode means we have to come out from the reactive mode to responsive mode.
Right.
Means there should be some gap between what is coming, external stimulus or something coming, some event happened, that is a stimulus, and what I'm going to do, say, or think. My free will. Three things. I can say something, do something, or think something, right?
Yeah.
Three things we have in our tool.
Correct.
These three things, as long as the input comes, any one of these three or combination goes out, that is called reaction.
Yes.
Okay, what we need to do, the stimuli came, we need to create some gap so that immediately these three things doesn't go. This gap, I'm creating some separation. This need to be practiced. And that practice is called witnessing. I did, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. I have my self exercise. Only thing I have to be aware what Rajdeep is thinking, what Rajdeep is doing. It starts with thought. So doing part, and you will do it later. say at least you watch your thoughts. The moment something came, then I said, now see what Rajdeep is mind, what is there in Rajdeep's mind. It is thinking that I should shout back. Okay. Okay, I should put a slap. Thoughts, words, or actions, right?
Correct.
और I should दो चार गाली दे देते हैं. ये जो मन में जो आ रहा है ना, this you need to witness first. So if you are in a witness, somebody, they have not come a stage where they able to witness because they didn't separated themselves. This is तो मुझसे ही तो हो रहा, मुझसे नहीं हो रहा. It is your reaction coming because you don't have the witness.
Correct.
So this is called witness consciousness. So we need to practice witnessing, and in the 6-step meditation we practice that. No? You know, the 3rd step is chitta upasana. Chitta upasana is watching the thoughts. So whenever it needs practice, okay, if you practice, what will happen is something stimuli came and then you see what is going on in your mind. If you're able to find what is there in the mind, you will able to control or able to modify or even decide not to react.
Right.
The gap I am saying looks like a very big gap. It's not a very big, it's a fraction of a second. But if your witness is working, anything comes, first you forget about who said what. Not external. Internally, you witness what is cooking in your mind. Okay. Three things, I'm just saying, 3 things you can react with. Your thoughts, words, and actions. You see these 3 areas, what is going on in your mind. If you are able to do that, then after that, what will come out from you is a response. That you will not regret because already it is filtered by your witnessing. And witnessing has another quality. It dissolves that negativity or something is happening within you. Okay, it dissolves, it neutralizes that. So in that case also, it will purify you so that whatever comes out, you may choose not to react at all. That is also a decision, but it is only come from the witnessing.
That needs a lot of practice again.
Yeah, that needs a practice, but in general, whether still the witness is established, you just think one thing. If I say these things, if I do these things, if I react this way, can I keep my peace of mind after that? If the answer is no, don't react. I told many times, that is a principle applied everywhere in our life. Our peace of mind is more precious than being right. Right in the name of our duty it is, and this is my right, and why not, and who the other guy doesn't matter. Okay. But end of it, if you are suffering, something happened, your peace of mind has gone, then it is not worth taking that action or something in that context. Okay, the simple thing you apply, then it will be fine. You will be fine. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, what a great revelation. Thank you so much.
Okay, God bless you. Any other question? Yes, Vikas?
RP, I have a question regarding how to get away from conditioning of the mind. Because I feel conditioning of mind is a block for the surrender.
Yeah. Conditioning of the mind also, it is just to completely redo of the conditioning of the mind. The technique is to go beyond the mind so that mind conditioning doesn't matter. You're operating from there. So that is the ultimate stage, but I'm not saying that. Here also these techniques will apply, the conditioning of the mind. First, you have to come out of that place where you don't understand that it is your conditioning of the mind, like the blind spot. I will explain. If you understand that this is coming from your conditioning, your first phase is done. Because you are aware it is coming from your conditioning. Okay. If that is the case, then you can respond accordingly. But if you are not aware, then it needs to calm down your mind and go to the higher vibration, our standard spiritual practices, so that you can get rid of it completely. And when you fully surrender, then the higher self will take care. You need not to bother whatever conditionings are. Okay. Many time, what happens is that because of conditioning, it triggers something. Like I'm giving example, so it will be clear what I'm saying. So I came out of the come out, and then I say that the black cat is crossing the road in front of me. Okay, काली बिल्ली ने रास्ता काट दिया. Okay, so then momentarily there is some trigger. Now we are conditioned. Some trigger. I just surrender. Babaji, please take care of that cat and move on. No reverse gear, no stopping. No. I surrender. I surrender to you. It triggered because my mind was conditioned some point of time. Yeah? Something happening, it triggers something. But as I'm surrendered completely, whatever effect of this comes also, it is also surrendered. You know better. I need not to do anything. The doing means I'm taking the driving seat back on my hand. Why? The conditioned life we have lived many years. And the product of that we have seen. Is it very joyful, the happy person? Most of the cases not. So that conditions will not lead anywhere. Billy बेचारा अपने रास्ते पे जा रहा है, and I'm thinking something bad about that Billy. He didn't do anything wrong with me. So this kind of conditioning, what my technique is simply in that moment, if it triggers something, I said, this trigger is also surrendered to you and move on. Okay. But overall, it needs, to be honest with you, complete conditioning will go at the time of enlightenment, not before that. It will still bother you. It will come and in the back door and try to control you, your conditionings. So complete liberation only after enlightenment, not before that.
It's always that sense is there. I am doing.
Yeah. Not I am doing, sometimes it's subconscious. You are doing, you don't know that you are doing it. That awareness has not gone to that level. But it is coming from your pattern. Breaking all the patterns, the enlightenment will be the answer. But how to deal with these patterns, what I am saying is at least you identify that this is my pattern. That is the winning of the first step. Okay. So if you're aware, then you are in a good stage so that it will not affect you negatively. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you. Okay. Yes, Chaitali.
Guruji, I have two questions. First, when we suffer physically or mentally, does our soul also suffer?
No, soul doesn't suffer. Soul doesn't have a mind.
Okay.
Suffering means some negative experience or painful experience you are repeating in your mind again and again and again. And like वो बोलते हैं ना कि वो broken record, पहले जो होता था ना black color का record, एक line बार repeat होता था. It is the track was cut, so we repeat things of our mind. That is called suffering. Painful incident we may not control, but at least the suffering part we can control, which is played in our mind. We need to control only our mind, not the incident which is outside us, maybe beyond our control. Then we can get out of the suffering. And surrender plays a big part of it. This is all yours. Who is suffering? There is no one here to suffer. Okay, we'll leave it to you, whatever it is. So that is the way to ease your suffering and come out of it completely.
Guruji, my second question is, every morning I orally surrendered to whomever I believe, Mataji, Babaji, or whatever. I don't know, matlab, whether how much effective is this, but still I do some. Sometimes I understand also bad things, or I get mad, or someone is telling bad things. I'm listening also, and I tell myself, "Okay, I'm not listening. I'm not listening." Sometimes I cannot avoid because they are my friends. They are telling me their stories. I'm saying myself that I'm not listening. So does it bound karma also from my side? And why my higher self or my soul doesn't stop me?
No, the soul will not stop. It will be always in witness mode. You have to surrender, or you have to, with your free will, you have to allow not to get into this all this lower level stuck and still with the higher self. Okay, that's a different thing. But let me give you the practical advice. If you try to control somebody else outside you, it will never happen. Huh? I'm telling you from the beginning. Anything you think that you will be gaining some higher level, whichever direction you think, by not something happening your right side, and not somebody telling something to you, not somebody criticizing you, it will never happen. I'm telling you right now. Never happen. Best way, what our spiritual path is, you go to a level where whatever, no matter what they are saying or doing, it doesn't matter. Okay. This, because once you react, then this things goes, no? Sometimes it is not worth even reacting. One, I think some Roosevelt, anyway, forget one of the political leader, he said one of his message was that don't fight with a pig. It's not that you will get dirty. The pig, they're in the mud, so they said, don't fight with the pig. Not that you will get dirty. The pig will like that too, because pig wants you go to the mud and fight with them. So, let pig win. Win. Good. Give him a trophy and thank you. You win. Okay. So try to be, it is like Jal Kamalvat Jivan. You have to live in the mud, but not a single drop of water touches you. That is spirituality. Not praying to get me out of this mud. A lotus, it is coming in the mud. That is its normal habitat. That normal habitat, you should not pray to get it uprooted and sending something. Okay, so that is the understanding of that.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless you.
Rajiv, I have a question.
Yes, Sharmishta, go ahead.
My question is may not be organized, though it's just came into my mind. But so, having a desire, does that interfere with us surrendering? So I say, for example, I have a desire in mind for having something, and then at the same time, if I'm not if I'm surrendering, then my desire may not be fulfilled, right? So which direction to go?
No, see, you have to surrender only the outcome, not the intention.
Oh,
Okay. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Not na karmeshu kadachana. You have to do your bit. If you want something, it's okay. But when we get messed up, when the result does not come the way we want it, okay. So it is fine if you wanted to, suppose I like to eat biryani. It's fine. Have the desire to eat biryani is fine with me. But I have to get it now or today. And if I don't get today, I will get mad. That part is coming from obsession with this. Yeah? I can still surrender. I said, I wanted to have biryani. I surrendered to the divine. It will happen. That is titiksha, what I explained earlier. The patience has to be there. Shirdi Sai Baba's, his only two message, Shraddha and Saburi. See, the devotion and the patience. The patience plays a big part. Yeah, most of us, we become impatient, and that's why experience become completely opposite what is needed. So if you can control on the the expectation part of it, it will happen. So to answer your question, there is nothing wrong to have the desires. Only thing is, it is my addition, that desire or enjoying life shall not be at the cost of anything or anyone. No harm to anyone. That's all.
Oh,
Okay, that is the only thing. Otherwise, you enjoy life. You can have that, desires. You are looking for something that I've given the example of biryani, etc. Nothing wrong.
so having a desire, say I have a desire to go to India and enjoy certain foods or visit some places, and then I'm in a situation where that desire is not aligning. I mean, my course of action is not aligning, and
Aligning yet. Yeah.
yes, so so then my course of direction goes completely in a different direction, and I am bound to forget what my desire was to start with, and then I just go with the flow. So go with the flow is also is also good, right? I mean, people, we say that,
Yes.
okay, don't fight anything, just go with the flow. So
Yeah.
do I let my desire go, surrender, go with the flow, or to make myself happy? That is also important, right? To make myself happy, should
Oh,
I
yes. Yeah.
should I take action and do the necessary to make myself happy, so that I don't get into the pattern, don't get into the negative patterns and do something else, which is not good in the long run.
What I'm saying is keep your intention and do whatever best you can do. Okay. And rest, you leave it to the divine. That part is also important. Then you don't judge. I didn't get it in next week. Okay. Then whatever in your best interest, that will happen. I was giving example of my passport getting lost, or somebody having, the car, but the next day they have an accident, that kind of thing. So trust that your higher self, keep the intention, and rest, you go with the flow. Your soul consciousness exactly knows what is in your best interest. Okay, only thing, we have to trust our higher self and go with the flow.
Okay, thank you
It will
so much.
happen. It may not happen the way you want. That your timeline, the way you define the timeline as a success or failure, that timeline may go.
You're saying the timeline may not match. It may happen
That's
some other
correct.
time
That's correct. But it will
when my
happen.
desire is not as strong as it is maybe at the current
There's
time,
nothing to
right?
the strong and weak desire. What I'm saying is put an intention and release it to the universe. It will happen.
Oh,
No need to repeat and follow up. आज क्या हुआ अभी तक तो नहीं, not today, and maybe why not, and this, and those are mind games. Second
right.
part of the having desire or intention, we call it, that is the energy level. Having some intention to enjoy life, there is nothing wrong in that, as long as no harm to anyone or anything within bracket. Nothing wrong in that. But only thing is release it to universe, allow it to manifest. Okay, let me give you another understanding to give you is a better thing. You have some kind of seed of a fruit. You planted the seed. You have to keep on watering it till the fruit comes. You cannot say within a 1 month, if I don't get a fruit, then it is useless to plant the seed. It is not that. Okay. Everything will have its own time to get that thing to give the fruits. Okay. That is a gestation period. That part, you have to have the patience. That is the titiksha is all about.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that I have given example that somebody says, oh, nothing is happening. I stop giving water to the seed. It will never give you the tree and the fruit in future. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Keep nourishing it. It will definitely, it will give you fruit, but not the timeline you have given. Maybe it not be 2 months. It will give you maybe after 8 months, but allow it to happen. No? Okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Okay. God bless you.
Sir, one
Okay.
question.
Yeah. Okay. I think, yeah. All right. Okay, Kavita, go ahead.
Sir, desire is a way of trap because it is written in scriptures that desire
No, don't bring
creates.
scripture. No. I don't
Okay.
advise to bring scriptures. You say your whatever you wanted to ask clearly without giving reference to something. That's
Sir,
not
desire
important what is
creates
written in
more
the scripture.
suffering. Sir, desire creates more suffering in life.
Oh, yes. Yeah. More the desires, more the expectations, and expectation is inversely proportional to happiness. More the desire, less the happiness. The spiritual masters, they make their desire zero. So reverse is 1 divided by 0, it is infinite mathematically. So they are always in infinite joy. That means whatever they are getting or not getting doesn't matter. They don't expect even a thank you from somebody whose life has been changed. That level, there's no expectation. They are liberated. So their joy is always infinite. Their joy is affected by somebody did something, not did something, say something, not say something, doesn't matter. Okay, so that is the level. So we are working on. So, or alternately, if we control our expectation, joy will go more, happiness will go more.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Yes, Indranil.
First of all, deeply grateful for the session today. In fact, surrender always has been a key question in my life, and I have sought your advice before as well. So I'll ask the more important question first, maybe, and then there's a small other one. So this surrendering thoughts, words, and action, as you advised, and to the higher self or Babaji or anyone who you think is higher, I believe, than yourself. So that probably we need to do that like every living moment if we can, right?
Oh, yes. You are right on the spot, but it will happen. You need to do it. Okay. Every moment, once you surrender, every moment, if you allow it to play, every moment it will happen. Every moment will be divine.
So let's say I'm in a meeting, like the way it happens, let's say at work, and then it is possible to be in a state where I think that my thoughts and my words in that meeting will be actually Babaji's words and thoughts.
No, you
And
need
it will
not to,
flow.
yeah, no, it is. But what I'm saying is you need not to define about that it is coming from Babaji.
Okay.
Okay. You just say surrendered, whatever in my best interest, let that happen through me. Yeah. I told in the beginning that you don't have to make it happen. Only you allow it to happen through you. So what I'm saying, don't even restrict it, whether it is coming from Babaji or Ganpati or Lord Shiva. Don't restrict that also. Okay, it's a divine collective. Okay,
So let it just
whatever
come through
best
me and
interest, the divine
allow
flow
it
is
to flow.
happening through me. Yeah, that is the state.
And my second kind of confirmation, when you said that, it's possible to witness, and like you said that, now you're witnessing Rajdev doing something or thinking in a certain way.
That was a phase. That was my practice. Now it is gone.
Right. At that level. So at that point, we are probably already reaching the higher self a little bit, right? If we are so at that witness mode. So it's a conversation between the higher self and the lower self.
That's right. Yeah, it is basically your witness consciousness, which is witnessing. But at one level, that witnessing also go. Witnessing also another level of siddhi that you need to cross at the time of enlightenment. Yeah?
Mm.
That is a triode resolution. Unless until witness dropped, you cannot go into the full awareness.
Mm.
That's a different subject. But initially, it starts with witness. In that case, you can say that witness is my higher self is witnessing my lower self. That is correct. That is fine.
And when that dissolves, then you attain absolute silence.
Then
Like,
you are in a full awareness of everything. You are connected, you are merged. Then this even small witnessing not required.
mm. Grateful. Thank you.
All right. Okay. God bless you.